Welcome, age of vintage society. Maybe the opposite attracts, or is it that some people are naturally inclined to do things in reverse order? While thousands of American audience were engrossed with Florence Henderson's character in the Brady Bunch as an ideal screen mum, very few knew about her lifestyle off-screen that, without mincing words, contradicted her screen image. It's quite funny, interesting and understandable because, as they say, to err is human. The Secret Life of Florence Henderson. The scandalous truth about America's mum. I want you to know, my viewers, how much I appreciate you. Without your support, these videos wouldn't be possible. Thank you for those who hit the thanks button and for the Patreons. Florence Henderson, the Brady Bunch prodigy, is quite a lovely lady. There's no doubt about that. With her gentle nature and that interesting spark in her look, almost everyone would agree that she was cute. She may have been one of the screen ideal moms of classic American society with her talent, but she is somewhat different with her private life. Critics say Florence Henderson kept secrets that remained concealed until her death, the scandalous nature of her love life. She had an elongated cultural impact on the TV watching sphere and influenced thousands of viewers who keenly adored her, hence her nickname America's Mum. By implication, the Brady Bunch moulded lots of children, not just the ones from the show, but the viewers of the sitcom. Very remarkable was her hardened style of management of a large family on screen and her high-spirited screen attitude. Unfortunately, most movie stars are inclined to double life, one on and the other off the screen. It's not surprising then to learn about some of the funny things that defined Henderson's age-long career and personal lifestyle. I heard she experienced intermittently a life of depression that may have come from her poor upbringing and marital crisis. A school of thought believes that Henderson's on-screen fondness for her Brady group appears very real, because she was hoping to make up for the motherly affection that eluded her in her own life. I was deeply touched to learn that Henderson was the number 10 in the line of kids of her underprivileged parents. Of course, growing up in such a large family with little or no convenience did not allow her to enjoy the right affection as a child. Like all humans, Henderson made mistakes in her life that caused her shame and bitterness. One of the wrong life decisions was when she decided to warm the bed of a married politician at the Beverly Hills Hotel sometime in the 1960s. Perhaps it's part of her regular life or something she did out of shared lust, I was thinking. But she blamed loneliness. She knew it wasn't the right thing to do and still went ahead. If the information in her memoir is anything to go by, Henderson returned to her house and woke up the next morning to discover strange activities around her. She roused from her bed and noticed horribly little black things crawling around her bed. Florence was a hard-working lady, said to have learned singing just to support herself. She also cleaned houses and toiled in the fields, just to supplement the subsistence wage earned by her father, a tobacco sharecropper. She is best remembered for her scintillating performance as Carol Brady of the ABC sitcom, but she also appeared in several films and stage performances and anchored many outstanding cooking and variety shows. Florence Agnes Henderson was born in 1934. You can call her an actress and American TV personality. Her career covers about 60 years. Growing up in Dale, her birthplace, a small town in southwestern Indiana, Henderson's mother Elizabeth thought it wise to teach her 2-year-old daughter vocal tones, and with a collection of 50 songs she was able to put little Henderson in the mood for future exploits. By her 8th year she already had the shine of a star because everyone in her family fondly referred to her as Florency. Expectedly, her early display of talent saw her earning peanut income from singing at local grocery stores when she was 12. After basic education at St. Francis Academy in Owensboro, Kentucky, she found her way to New York City, where she enlisted at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. She probably honed her talent and got herself ready for the fictional world. Henderson began her mainstream career as a stage actress performing in musicals and mobile productions of Oklahoma, but her Broadway debut was in the musical Wish You Were Here in 1952. That outing opened more opportunities for her, as fans saw her featuring much later in the long-running Broadway 1954 musical Fanny, 888 performances, where she initiated the title role. Before she became a household name with the sitcom show, Henderson made history when she became the first female guest host for The Tonight Show in 1962. That position became a reality when she was contracted as a stand-in for Jack Parr following his departure from the show, even as she was christened Today Girl on the Today Show. Though very few people would remember her role in that program, it marked the beginning of a promising career as a television personality. Henderson metamorphosed from an on-stage performer to hosting her talk show, The Florence Henderson Show, and remarkably Who's Cooking with Florence Henderson, and becoming a TV land pop culture sensation. But with all her fame and career exploitation, this beautiful lady still felt empty within. A feeling of lack led her into making mistakes in life and suffering few consequences as a result. Though early experiences have a way of projecting one's lifestyle, I'm thinking if a tough childhood could be blamed for some of her actions. On why she was excellent on her Brady Bunch hit show, Henderson said the kind of mum she played in the show is the type that she had always wished she had. For that reason, I wanted to portray Carol as a loving, fun, affectionate mother. Of course, the show touched a lot of people who, she said, could have had a similar uncaring parental situation in their childhood. I think what happens when you grow up poor is, as you get older, you want to amass everything, she was quoted, and after gathering everything for yourself and having more than you need, you want to give back to those who don't have, a life she lived in the latter part of her life. The first time I heard that crabs besieged her body after she had an illicit affair with a married fellow, I thought it sounded funny that the little black creatures decided to visit her in private. Henderson stated in her memoir that she made an urgent call to a doctor in panic mode before a solution was provided for her. Her condition is known pathologically as pubic lice, and John Lindsay was responsible, or so it seemed, as he later apologized with flowers and an apology letter. But the situation taught her lessons. In her words, I learned the hard way that crabs do not discriminate. They can infect anyone despite his or her socio-economic strata. The ill-fated affair with Lindsay must have been an exciting fling, but ended scandalously between them. Mr. Lindsay, who was a mayor of New York between 1966 and 1973 before moving up to be a US congressman, was said to have had it one-on-one with Henderson. Little did she know that what they did in the dark would eventually result in a sexually transmitted disease, STD, from that one-night stand with the statesman. Critics say Henderson would have kept a clean slate about her image regarding extramarital affairs if not for that naughty moment with Lindsay. One major issue that got my attention about this action is that it took place while she was still in a marriage with her first husband, Ira Bernstein. Yet she told her fans that she was lonely at the time. I knew it wasn't right. I did it. She probably got tired of pleasure from a single source and decided to cut corners. While Henderson was still recovering from the guilt, she learned that her husband was brazenly cheating on her, and so her marriage was completely on the line for a break-up. She did not hesitate to file for a divorce. That first marriage with Ira Bernstein occurred in 1956 and produced 4 awesome kids, and they were together for nearly 30 years before the divorce came in 1985. The above story was just one of the few romantic stories that went around as rumours until she wrote about it in her memoir. While confirming that funny romantic tale, Henderson played down another gossip about her and one of her screen sons. There were rumours that she had an off-screen romance with Barry Williams, who acted as her oldest teen stepson, appearing as Greg Brady. The young lad enjoyed enough of being around Henderson, including a kiss. Actor Barry Williams had alleged that he once dated Henderson in his biography, Growing Up Brady, I Was a Teenage Greg, which sparked the rumours. But Henderson did say they were friends, but not in the sense he portrayed it. She had explained through her website that the report was blown way out of proportion. In her submission, he may have seen what they did together as that of a dating partner, but it does not make it so. Williams thought it was, the reason he talked about it again after her demise. He was telling fans how at the time he had planted a kiss on his TV mum. He noted that from the moment he met her he had a powerful affinity for her that soon turned into intense attraction, and of course he became a secret admirer of the senior lady. He also noted that Henderson played many parts in his life. She was not just a professional mother, she was his mentor and one who inspiringly taught him a lot, that he could not but be anything she wants him to be for her. "I think she knew that I had a crush on her, and I think that was kind of amusing," he was quoted. Williams also explained how they went out to dinner one night together to discuss music and a side of showbiz that involves performing in Vegas, showrooms, and the Broadways. And being a secret admirer, Williams said he was very interested in discussing with her, as he saw it, as an opportunity to pick her up in the car, take her out, and try his best to steal a kiss from her, which I did, he declared satisfactorily. And why the young lad was able to pull through with that, Henderson said she knew how emotionally drawn and intensely infatuated he was about her, and decided to help him balance the tension a little. "Williams has a serious crush on me, which I understood and helped him get past." She wrote, "If he had entertained a role in The Hay with me, I would never have done it," she wrote in her memoir. Though the age difference between Henderson and much younger Williams is about 20 years, the two remained close friends, as she stated. Is it true she was a licensed hypnotherapist? Although Henderson had enough work to handle in the movies, plus her family engagement, especially her 4 kids, but she still had time to take up what could be described as another vocation, this time to satisfy her passion. She got a license as a hypnotherapist. Henderson went into the practice initially so she could handle her fear of airborne and related anxieties she always experienced when she first entered showbiz. After this she started helping those around her with the knowledge she had acquired. I learned Henderson tried practicing, and one of her experimental candidates failed to abide by her advice, and she later told the media that they didn't take my advice at all. Recall also that her second husband, Dr. John Kappas, was also a qualified hypnotherapist and the founder of the Hypnosis Motivation Institute. Kappas was credited for the progress and the practice of the separate concept of it from pure hypnosis to that of psychology. They got married in 1987, nearly 2 years after separating from the father of her 4 kids. The duo met when she came to him for treatment. She took several programs of therapy in his custody that helped her overcome depression and particularly stage fright, some years back before coming back together and into matrimony. They kept their marriage until his death, and thereafter Henderson told the media that during her marriage with him it was more of a blissful 15 years of relationship, adding that the time spent with him was the happiest in her life. Henderson remarkably became an advocate of senior citizen vitality till the last days of her life. Regardless of her life dynamics, Henderson would not stop living her life as though life has nothing to do with age. She maintained her healthy and active lifestyle, especially with her workout activities and even her sexual lifestyle. At some point she became one of the oldest ever Dancing with the Stars competitors. What was her magic? She says she is a strong advocate of staying young, inside and outside. Her lifestyle got her several benefits. She enjoyed friends with benefits, and noted that it's never too late to involve in a sweltering romance with a gentleman guest. It's very healthy for the heart, she told her audience. Henderson believes that age should not stop people from going to bed with the opposite sex. I think no matter how old you are, you should do whatever makes you happy, she advised. Even if it means going out and having a romantic affair, she says, I say do it. She was not just talking about theories, she also practiced what she preached, having admitted to dating a Florida-based man in the last decade of her life, which she calls any time she wishes, and berated some opinions, saying it's foolish to think that older people don't enjoy romance. Well, you have heard from therapist Henderson. There is no age limit on the enjoyment. Rather, individuals learn to do it with more experience, intelligence, and the ability to choose more wisely. Henderson was not just a big mama. She had 5 grandchildren. After retirement from TV, Henderson had a sudden demise at the age of 82 due to a heart failure. The initial information was that she was hospitalized the previous day. Her manager, Kayla Pressman, hinted that Henderson had heart failure 3 days before her death. Even though there was no sign of illness before that ugly incident, because she had attended the recording of Dancing with the Stars. only for fans to hear of her death. Florence Henderson's journey to become America's mom was not without bumps, but others have interesting secrets too. Why was Blythe Danner the victim of Hollywood? Watch this video.